just want to interrupt at any moment. If you just want to interrupt me with questions, just turn on your mic and ask. Okay. And if something happens in the chat, if anybody and everybody can just let me know, that'd be great. All right. So I'm a science teacher at North High School. I teach chemistry and AP environmental science. And for many, many years, I've also been the sponsor of the Ecology Club. And a few years ago, group of volunteers, these are students that are either, in my classes or, just friends of friends or just people who are just interested, they come and join the Ecology Club. It's an all-inclusive club. This is one of our first work days of this school year where we were rehabbing our campus native plant garden. So the North High Ecology Club native plant started back in 2015 when they cut down some old dying pine trees in a plot next to the gym. And it's maybe, 40 feet by 20 feet, so not too big. And the first job that we had was to dig up the pine tree roots, which, the teenage boys were thrilled about because it was a lot of hard work. Once we did that, we got some plants. Tony Baker was an integral part of that. There just weren't a ton of plants. It might have been, I think it's probably back well before 2015. And the first time that we made our native plant garden, it was destroyed by a remodel. The school was remodeling and they had to paint the gym. And so, one morning I came to school and there were lifts and, heavy equipment in the native plant garden. The second time, we replanted. The second time, the district just kind of pruned it and, squared away everything. And a lot of the plants really suffered from that. And so we worked with the district, and now they know that they just kind of have a hands-off approach to this area. And so the volunteers usually, we can maintain it pretty well. A couple of things we've learned is we try to keep it really simple. We try to communicate with, school leadership and the district gardeners, and we try to have regular maintenance. So that was our first kind of exploration of native plants. And then during COVID, we, just try to liven things up with my AP environmental science class. I would take them on little Zoom walks of, my garden and my yard. And so, I'd give them demos, and we actually got a few volunteers who, would come over and work a little bit. So we were outside and everybody felt pretty comfortable doing that. And so the first garden was our yard here. Just kind of a real general weedy lawn that I was never that into. Mostly with me and my family, we would, have to stretch our legs and get dirty after being on the computer the whole time during Zoom. We would just kind of go out and do a little bit of clearing each day. And I'll show you how we clear the lawn. I have a short little video or a couple little video clips in just a few minutes. This probably took us, 4 to 6 weeks. We would just do little plots at a time. And it wasn't backbreaking work because, we would just try to keep it to short, manageable spurts. And this is maybe after a year or so. And now the garden is maybe 5 years old. Some of the bush sunflower and stuff like this one is no longer there, and some of the plants have changed. But and this manzanita over on the left has grown up and stuff. But this was, our first intro to it, and we all felt, my family and some of the students who were involved felt like it was a success, and so some of the students were interested in continuing, and that's how we started doing the lawn to garden projects. So how it works. What we do at North High is we look for community members, student families that are maybe interested in converting their lawn to native plants. So we just kind of ask around. Our first job was my mother-in-law's. What game did they play? Mahjong. My mother-in-law's Mahjong friend who was complaining about her gardener one day, and about how much water they'd been using. It was really expensive. So we approached Chris and talked to her about converting her lawn to native plants. And so what we do is Ecology Club members do all of the work, from digging up the lawn to watering and weeding. This is, I think, the most important step is once we dig up the lawn, we want to try to get all of the weed seed and remaining roots and stuff to, germinate or grow and catch them then. So we're trying to be really patient. Once we remove the lawn, we water it. And a lot of times the homeowners will help us with this. And so they water the whole property. And then we wait. And then when new weeds germinate or new roots sprout, we go in again and knock them out, either by hand or with hula hose. And once we've done that a couple of times, then we'll plant. Then we'll lay some cardboard. We'll mulch. And one of the requirements, and we'll talk about this in a future slide, is that you have to have some kind of water retention feature to get the state water rebate. And so we usually go with like a dry riverbed swale. I think it looks good and it serves a purpose. I'll shop for the plants, and all the students will help me plant. We'll all plant together. I do buy and deliver the mulch, the rocks, and the plants as well. So that's kind of just a general overview, and I'll talk about more detail in the coming slides. Just want to pause here for a sec and see if anybody has questions.
Got a question.
Yep.
Besides, you said you usually go with a swale. Are there other things you could implement, like I don't know, a dry well or something like that?
Yeah. So you can do in our side yard, we did, instead of a swale, we just did kind of I guess like what you're saying, like a dry well where we dug down, put a little bit of sand and some gravel, and then lined it with rocks. And the state was happy with that. That was right by the downspout. And it's never flooded. It's always been able to soak up and hold quite a bit of water. And so it really reduces the amount of, water that's running off a property. You can also have rain barrels as well. I don't know if you see in this slide, we went with both. So we have the rain barrels here, and they'll allow you to have rain barrels instead of a dry riverbed or swale as well. And I can show you, there's I think one or two other features that they also allow, and I can show you where they where you can find that. Cool. Anything else? All right. So we start by applying for the grant, and the grant is found here, the Be Waterwise Turf Replacement Program. It's a state-funded grant, and they give us $2 a square foot. But recently I've seen that they're now, looks like they might be moving to $3 a square foot, which is a pretty good upgrade. Let me see if I can go here. Oh, okay. So this is the turf, a little bit of information about the turf replacement program. And you can get here from the Be Waterwise link. And so one new thing that I'll talk about a little bit later is this dead or dying turf areas with bare dirt will not qualify. They're taking this very seriously. So our most recent application was denied because they said the turf wasn't alive enough. And previously, up until just 6 months ago, they would allow and even encourage you to stop watering the lawn just to kind of get a head start on replacing the turf. And so this was a bit of a surprise for me because I didn't think the turf was in that bad a shape, and they said that it wasn't alive enough. And I chatted with them, and what they said was they're looking for, getting the most bang for their buck. So they want people who are actively using a lot of water, actively watering their lawn. Those are the ones that they're after, not people who have, lawns that they're rarely watering. So it may seem counterintuitive, but we are now watering that lawn to green it up, and we'll reapply in just a couple of weeks. So that's a new addition for the eligibility, but you can read through, what's required and stuff here. A couple of other highlights. Another new feature from the water rebate program is you always have to have 3 plants per 100 square feet, and that's never really hard to reach. But where's the new tree thing? Oh yeah, and you can't have any kind of fake plastic turf or turf looking grass. You can do yarrow, kind of like a field of yarrow, or big pieces. Some of the water retention features here. So rock gardens, dry riverbeds, swales, berms, rain barrels, and districts are all suitable. No bare dirt, so you've got to have mulch. I have done one job where we had a little bit more rock than mulch, and we usually just cap the sprinklers and hand water. And really, just the hand watering is just soak an area. We try not to water right at the base of plants. And then after it gets established, you're just not really watering very much at all. So we'll usually just cap sprinklers. All right, a couple of other stuff that's allowed and not allowed. And once you kind of read through that and decide to do it, then you'll start your application. And it's a pretty quick application. I've got it to where I can, apply in less than an hour. A quick sketch of a garden plan. It doesn't have to be, professional landscaping plan. A couple of measurements, a copy of your water bill, and some pictures of the existing yard. Really, it's a pretty quick application process. Cool. And if you're not sure about, the water retention, they have some short videos that you can watch through. Okay. And if anybody on here ever, wants help, I've done a few of these and I can walk you through it. All right. So for the turf replacement program, I make the garden design. The customer gives us the copy of their water bill. I make the measurement and I take pictures of the yard and I submit those to the application process. This is just one example of one of the gardens that we did. It's a real quick, easy sketch, and they don't, hold you to it if you change your mind on some features, or if you, can't get certain plants, or you decide to go in a different direction. They don't ever, question you on that. What they want to see at the end is 3 plants per square foot. Per 100 square feet, and your water retention feature, and your area covered with mulch. For this garden design that you're looking at here, they did question this area right up in the top, and they saw that as existing grass, and they wanted to take that out of our rebate. But what that was just an area of mulch. I should have labeled it better, where the homeowner wanted to have a couple of chairs set up. So you can do, like we did in this garden here, you can do the parkway and you still get the rebate, $2 or $3 a square foot. And this plant list here isn't necessary, but it just kind of helped me, when I was kind of preparing my shopping list and stuff.
Question.
Yeah.
Can you apply for only the parkway? Is it
You,
worth it since it's so
you,
small? Would
yeah,
they do
you
it?
can, but there's a minimum of 250 square feet per job. So, um,
Is that your policy, or is that's just their
no,
threshold for conversion?
no, that's the grant, the rebate policy. Yeah. No, in fact, I'm hesitant to say this, but maybe one of you will rip off the job opportunity. But when a few years ago during the budget cuts, I got a pink slip from teaching, and I was like, oh, what am I going to do? And I was going to start a rip your strip job where we only did strips. We'd go and rip the strip out and replace it with native plants. But luckily, I kept my teaching job.
Oh,
So
there's a question in chat as well.
yeah.
It's is the rebate still taxed?
So this is a little bit of a trick. You do get a 1099 at the end of the year, and so I always talk to the homeowner and tell them that I'm upfront on that because I'm not gonna the rebate goes to them. So the check is written to them, so they're the ones that do have that taxable income. And I always let the people know. Yep, good question. All right, cool. Um, so, is there another chat there? Let me catch that. I'll just take a quick peek.
I'll read it for everyone, and while you read it to yourself, can you do this project for other property owners like apartment complexes?
Yes. So there's a when you're doing the rebate, there's a residential or a commercial toggle, and I think the rebate for res or for commercial is a little bit bigger, and the maximum is a greater too. The maximum for residential is $5,000, or 5,000 square feet. Should I don't know, and it's double for commercial properties. And so I would assume an apartment is a commercial property. Um, yeah, and you can I always fill out the application for the homeowner, and but the and I get all the communication from the state, but the check is sent to the property owner to the address that's on the water bill. All right, so okay, we do that. Yeah, so what we do again is we remove the lawn, we water, weed, repeat, water, weed, repeat. And then we line during that time when we're watering and weeding, we usually will try to line the and lay the swale. Then we plant the native plants. And then what we do is we do cardboard. And I know that some people love it, some people hate it, but we get lots and lots of large pieces of cardboard with a little overlap of 6 to 12 inches. We water the cardboard really well so it doesn't curve up. And then we lay the mulch on top of that cardboard. We find that the cardboard, breaks down within a year. I haven't found that it suffocates the soil or kills, microorganisms and things. We try to use only brown, non-glossy cardboard. We remove all of the tape, and it's worked well for us because I feel like a lot of the jobs that we do have grasses with a lot of rhizomes and stuff, and so the cardboard serves to block sunlight maybe better than mulch, even if you're going 3 or 4 inches deep. And by the time the cardboard breaks down, it seems as if most of the weed seeds and rhizomes have died. And then you just have to deal with the occasional windblown, weeds and stuff. And the order, this is just what has worked for us. Plant the natives and then mulch around those, cardboard and mulch around those.
Oh, so can you amplify on that? And also, we have a question. What is the swale lined with?
Okay, so we've experimented with two things. We have done both cardboard and we've done landscape fabric. So I feel like for the swale, it's better to do landscape fabric and perhaps even do cardboard, then landscape fabric. It's not ideal. It is polyester. But it keeps the rocks from migrating down into the soil. And, it's just another barrier because I don't think it's really great when you have weeds and grass growing up through the rocks. So we do use landscape fabric for that part of the job. Um, and you wanted me to expand on one other thing, I think.
Um, yeah, I think it was my question. I think I lost the thought there thinking about your other answer. So continue on,
Okay.
please.
All right, cool. So the timeline is typically, what you see here. Overall, it's 3 to 4 months, and we really make sure the homeowner knows that this is not a weekend job. It's not something that, a professional landscaping company is going to come out and bring, a crew of 12 guys and lots of machinery and finish it real quick. Um, so we apply and the state gets back really quick. Like this last application was I applied and less than 5 days later they gave us the denial. Um, but we weren't happy with the decision, but it was really nice to hear them have them come so quick. Um, so within 2 weeks they will get back to you. And sometimes they ask questions. Sometimes they say, we're not really sure about, your measurement, or we're not really sure about something. And then you can just email them back and forth or even call them. They're really, really responsive. After we get approved, then we'll set up times with my ecology club. We tried to start with a weekend work day, um, because we can get a lot done on that very first day. We get lots and lots of volunteers in the very beginning, and we like to use them to, knock out the lawn removal. Depending on the soil conditions, the lawn conditions, this can take 2, 3, or 4 weeks. I like to budget a month, because the kids are super busy and I have a life too. And so we have to find days and times that all of us can get together. Typically it'll be weekends, but during the fall and spring, we can, when the daylight is a little bit longer, we'll do weekdays as well. After that lawn removal, we'll water and weed and build the swale, and that takes 3 to 4 weeks. We'll shop and plant the plants. That usually takes 2 to 3 weeks. That's a challenge for me. I really like to, and I don't know if this is a good thing, bad thing, but I really like Theodore Payne Foundation. I feel like for me, they have a good selection of plants. They have the plants that I have found grow well in the gardens here in the Torrance area, um, and but it's a drive. It's a drive. It takes me, an hour to get there and a couple hours to shop because I'm slow and I just enjoy the process. And then, an hour to get back. It's a long day. Um, and then after we plant, we'll cardboard and mulch over a couple of weeks, and for a total time of 3 to 4 months. Usually, after you do that, you submit pictures and stuff, and the state will give you your check within 2 months. I would say is a average time, 6 to 8 weeks. They say on the website 12 weeks, but usually comes sooner than that.
Yeah. Jay, there's a question in
Yeah.
chat, and that D is asking if there are downsides to using cardboard to suppress grass and non-native seed bank.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can go on and get a lot of people, in chat rooms and stuff, loving or hating. Was that lasagna mulching or, the cardboard and stuff. Um, for me and for the homeowners that we've supported, um, it's been the best thing for us. Like I said earlier, we are using brown cardboard without a lot of paints and dyes. We're removing all the tape and any plastic, um, and I haven't found like a diminished population of insects or earthworms. In fact, I often find more earthworms. Some people who are the anti-cardboarders, they say that that's just That's just the earthworms that are, suffocating and they're coming to the surface to get air. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I just know that I don't want, I'm not in the landscape maintenance business, and I don't want to go back and have unhappy, customers, I guess. And I don't want the gardens that we put in to look bad because I think that does a disservice to the whole process that we're trying to do. If you have a weedy native plant garden, that's not going to get anybody excited about planting a garden of their own. So for us, the cardboard has worked really well at my own house and at the jobs that we've done. And like I said, the cardboard breaks down, and adds carbon. Maybe because it's adding carbon, it's pulling some, nitrogen out of the soil. But it's worked well for us.
Yeah. Where do you find the cardboard? Do you have the homeowners get it?
Anywhere that we can get it. Yeah. So we talked to the homeowner early on to have them start collecting. I've been lucky with my students. One of our former leaders. Hang on, I'm going to reset my light. Sorry. Yeah, maybe I can. All right. One of our former leaders, she had a sister who worked somewhere where they had like an endless supply of large cardboard, and that was so great. Like, I don't know if she's on here, Maya or Irvin or David. If you're on here, say hi in the chat. Let us know. Love to hear from you. So, the cardboard, we just try to start saving it, and again, the bigger the pieces, the better. You just have fewer gaps and seams, and so you have fewer places for roots to find their way up. Okay, so let's check out. Let's see. We're gonna see a couple of ways we just really simply remove the lawn with, you know, could always have gloves, hand picks, garden hose, rakes, and green bins are key. So that's another thing that we do is, lawns have it's a lot of material. And so we try to utilize the neighborhood green bins. And we've been lucky that all of the people that we've worked with have, uh, neighbors who they're friendly with. And so when we show up, neighbors from around the way will bring their green bin over to us. And it's just really, really nice. Um, and so we fill green bins. We try to shake off all the soil so it's not like, heavy. If we find that a green bin's getting heavy, we don't overfill it, halfway or something. And we've never had a problem. The city's never denied anybody's green bins. So let's see if we can look at these photos here. I think I've got a couple of videos. Okay, so this was, we saw this earlier. This was our first yard. And this was early on when we, laid the swale and planted the plants early on. And this is kind of midway where it was kind of growing up a little bit. And then you saw that, kind of final picture. So I think this video will play. Can you guys, is the video playing a little bit? Yeah. So really, we're just doing slow and steady. We break off a little piece of lawn, just 8 by 8 inches, and shake the soil out. So I'm just going to check the. Okay, hey, Maya's here. Okay. Um, cool. Great. Okay. Cool. All right. So this is after we remove small little pieces of lawn, we rake it. And as we rake it, we're trying to leave the soil behind and just get the vegetation, just get the lawn. So that's the next strategy that we do. I think I've got one more of these, maybe. Yeah. Okay. All right. That how was that bad? Was that bad? Was the video clear and all?
There, yeah, the video was I could see it. It was a little choppy. What suffered actually was your audio.
Okay.
Uh, you might
Um,
want to move a little closer to your speaker.
sure, sure. So I'll just we work in really small patches, um, and we rake the soil to get rake the grass to leave the soil behind, and sometimes we'll pile it up and let it kind of dry out. So the green bins don't get heavy. And I try to warn all the homeowners that hey, you're going to have these piles occasionally. Okay. Maya, would you like to just say? Thanks. Uh, Maya, would you like to say hi? Just real quick. I know you're busy at UCLA. Um,
Sure, I'll go ahead and say some words.
Yay, it's good to see you. Hi.
Hi,
So let me
everyone.
introduce Maya was our longtime president, I don't know, 3 years perhaps, of Ecology Club. And she was really instrumental in kind of getting our first jobs going. She was a fantastic organizer of people and, really communicated well, got lots and lots of volunteers, and she was the magic cardboard supplier as well. Um, so I don't know how long you've been on. Is there anything that you think people should know if they wanted to do this?
I would say that it was definitely like a good way to like get like people involved in our community because I feel like before like we introduced this to our club, like not a lot of people knew about Ecology Club until we started doing these lawn removals to where like everyone like from all over the school campus and like from all over like different interests that people had, they would all like get together and like work on the lawn for like the benefit of our community and just like to conserve water and to ultimately like help our planet. So yeah.
Yeah. Um, I think it's really true. Like, digging in the dirt, maybe doesn't always sound like the most fun, but people always enjoy it, and a lot of folks come back after that first time, huh?
Yeah, definitely. And if this is something that anyone is interested in doing, I recommend having a little snack after the hard day of digging up dirt because that was people's motivation. They really loved our snacks that we provided them afterwards.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Mhm.
Um, well, Maya, I don't want to keep you too long, but you're of course welcome to stick around. But it's good to see you. Do you have your fish from Pala?
Oh, yes, I do. Do you want to see it real quick?
I do. Just real quick. We'll bore the people here.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. It is actually right here.
Hey, all right, looking good, looking good. All right,
Yes.
I'm glad you got that. Good to see you. If you're ever in town with our next job, we'd love to see you again. Okay.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Okay. All right. Bye bye.
That was nice. Thank you.
Yep. Yep. Okay. So it sounds like the videos aren't the best bet, but you hopefully see that we just keep things really, really simple when we remove the lawn. All right. Um, So we do have some plants that we use, plant lists. This was our job on Taylor Court. And I think if I kind of cruise over here and, oh, sorry, guys. And it did have links to all the Calscape pages, but I think maybe when they redid the pages, my links were all broken. So, um, but I can put a link to this. These are just some of the plants that have done well for us. And I can add this link to this in the chat, but it's nothing different than you would find at Calscapes, which is just a really great resource for different plants. And so those are just some of the plants that we've had success with. If you have any other favorites that you think grow well in South Bay, feel free to throw them in the chat. All right, so the way the finances work is upfront, I pay for plants, rocks, and mulch. The homeowner supplies us with snacks. Usually I have like a plastic box and they'll buy cookies and chips and fruit and stuff. And each homeowner has been, a little bit different in that sense. And so I pay for the plants, the rocks, and mulch. I save receipts. And then when the rebate comes, for example, one of our most recent jobs, the rebate was $2,100. Our expenses, $100 for snaps, $400 for plants, $280 for rocks, and $440 for mulch. They write me one check to reimburse me for those costs. And then the remainder of the rebate, they write a check to the Ecology Club at North High. And so this last one was $880. And so all the student volunteers are rewarded because we use this money to subsidize activities, to go on trips, to lower the cost of their, Ecology Club t-shirt. And so this is just kind of a typical example of the finances. So these are the, past jobs from 2021 to 3-4. And then our newest application that's pending is here on 175th Street. That's the one that was denied initially. I'm not giving up on it. And this link here, information for homeowners, this is a little bit like a contract. It's, so that they know and I know, what to expect. And so we try to provide them with this. And so anybody out there who's going into this, lawn to garden business with your group, I recommend something like this, what you're going to do. And it's a lot of stuff that I've already covered in the presentation. What their responsibilities are in terms of access to water, snacks for the volunteers, supplying the water bill. And then usually I like to have a little secure space. Usually it's just the backyard where we can, store some of the stuff so I don't have to cart it back and forth. And maybe the most important things, talking to neighbors about their green bins, watering the soil to help the seeds germinate after we remove the lawn, and then collecting cardboard. Okay. This just talks a little bit about that we're going to apply for the grant and the finances of it. And this is just a reminder that it takes a long time and it's 3 to 4 months.
There's a question in chat about where you purchase the mulch.
Yeah, so I like to have a uniform, mulch. And so at our first house, we got a big mulch delivery from a garden service, a tree trimming service. And it was an incredibly large amount of mulch, like just more than we could handle. It was embarrassing. It was, 6 feet wide, 12 feet long, and 5 feet tall. It was just a bit of a disaster. So I've avoided, wood chips from tree companies. So what I've been doing is I've been buying bags of mulch from Home Depot. I haven't had a bulk delivery. And so that's another, I don't know, time consuming part of the project is I do go to Home Depot and I can usually fit 25 bags in my car. And so it's usually 2 or 3 trips like that. And kids are great about, I just always make sure I have plenty of volunteers when I have a car full of mulch. And because they come, they grab it, they spread it. One nice thing about bags, it's not ideal because you got a bunch of plastic, but one nice thing about bags is you can move it to different parts of the yard without wheelbarrows, without shoveling and stuff like that. So we use bags, and I typically get them from Home Depot. They're normally 3 for $10, but there are times a year in the spring when you can get them 4 or even 5 for $10. That's the mulch that we use. These are some links that, again, you guys can follow. It's stuff that we've talked a little bit about: the rebate, Theodore Payton Foundation, a link to help you with garden design, some plants that we've used, and then the Calscapes from California Native Plant Society. Information that the homeowner provides, and past jobs.
Rosalie asks if you've tried any bulk deliveries from like BD White for mulch.
Yeah, so
and I would suggest if you've got someone with a small truck, it's a very effective way to get mulch.
Yeah. So I don't have a truck, and I haven't, asked families of students and stuff for that. I personally have gotten stuff from BD White. It was really nice when it was over on Prairie, but now it's a little bit further away. But it is an option, but we just haven't done the bulk. Sepulveda building also, they have rocks and stuff. I think with the delivery fee, sometimes I do the cost, and I try to keep costs down as much as I can, just to get as much money for the club as possible. And so far we've done the bags, but yeah, maybe I should check back on the bulk delivery.
Oh, there's a real pragmatic question in here.
Yeah.
Probably somebody that's organized volunteers before. He asks, how is the liability insurance covered?
Next slide. No, I don't have an answer for you. And this
I'm going to assume that it's an official school activity and they have insurance.
There you go. That's yeah, I don't know. I'll take suggestions. My email will be on the last slide. So yeah, the club activities are school board approved. So yeah, I don't know. We do a safety talk at the beginning of every work day. Kids have always just been, really responsible, but I know accidents can happen. So, but I don't know. All right. Let's see, challenges. So we had somebody that had asked about challenges. So the newest challenge is the actively growing green lawn requirement. This slide here, this is the lawn that we applied for and was turned down. I was really surprised at this. Like over here along the brick planter, there's a little bit of, dirt spot. I think there's a lot of fallen leaves, and maybe that made them think that there wasn't a lot of lawn here, but I felt like this had plenty of lawn. So that's one of the newest challenges, is that new requirement. We're always fighting over the students. All the students who get involved are the same students who are doing all kinds of things. So another one is time, busy students. The third bullet, post-job care. So again, I don't want to be in the landscape, maintenance business. And so I have an instruction sheet on how to care for, the plants in the garden. We usually do 1 to 2 post-installation visits to clean things up, to reapply mulch, and hunt for weeds. But I always talk with the homeowner, and we've had mixed success. We had, one person, Tomoko, if you're here, say hi or put it in the chat. Let us know, Tomoko, if you're still here.
Hi.
Hi, yay. Okay. So Tomoko is our star pupil, our star student, our star customer. So we did her house on Taylor Court, and she just has thrived in maintaining the yard. It looks incredible, and you know, she, I know, goes out regularly and just kind of walks the yard and looks for new weeds and stuff, and isn't afraid to replace a plant that she doesn't like. Tomoko, you want to talk on that at all?
Yeah, there really hasn't been any weeds that have grown through the mulch and the cardboard. The only thing is that that one plant that we removed.
The narrow leaf milkweed.
Yeah, that one is still, it's actually growing a new plant.
I saw that. I was there the other day, and I thought I might dig it up and try to steal it for another job. So do I have the okay?
Yeah, can you just take one? Because you know why? Jaden found a caterpillar on the far end.
I knew that. Yeah, I knew that it might wear you down, and you might end up liking it. So for everybody out there, that one, like a lot of milkweeds, will self sow, and has a lot of volunteers and stuff. And so I just treat it like a weed when it's in a place that I don't want it, or I'll dig it up, put it in the pot, and try to transplant it someplace else. Okay. Anything else, Tomoka, that you think people should know?
No, as far as the watering, I probably have only watered once or twice.
Mm-hmm.
I use very little water. The dry river works out really well. It catches our we have a tankless water heater that flushes once a month, and the way you have it set up, the runoff goes into the swale. So that far end gets watered that way.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Where it used to be, or you just ran, one small place in the yard. So that worked out really well.
Great. Good. All right. Thanks. If anybody has questions, you can speak up or put them in the chat for Tomoko. Theodore Plain Foundation, another challenge is that it's a little far. I like it because it's got dependable supply of plants that I like, but it's far. Transporting rocks and mulch, you guys gave some suggestions that maybe I should get deliveries. Another second to last challenge there, the bullet, my thumbs are just hurting. It's just that's one way that I'm showing my age is my thumbs. And then collecting large pieces of cardboard. Just a couple more slides here. This is the not green grass, I guess, that we're going to try to green up. We've got some before and after pictures, so I'll open for you. And this is one more thing. This is our side yard that we did just not too long ago. And they allowed us to do permeable hardscape. So we were able to do the flagstone that you see here. So this is that, I don't know, not really a swale, but just right by the downspout, a deep set of rocks where the water will flow into. This was really nice because we got a good rebate, and it paid for a very expensive flagstone. And now we've got this little walkway along the side of our house, and that we've been very happy with. So that's another option for those of you out there. You can do permeable hardscape like you see here. All right, so let me go back and do our before and afters. Okay, so this is Ardith Avenue before. These are some of our early volunteers ready to go to work. Here they are, digging up the lawn. This is my family and our international student on a work day. Halfway done maybe with this job on Ardith Avenue, and more or less done removing the lawn. This is Maya, who you just saw. It's kind of a theme for them to try to break up big pieces and show off. And so we'll see some big ones. This is the cardboard lined swale in its early stages. A little bit further on with some planting going on. We try to water the cardboard really well. You can see maybe right here. And it is in its semi-mature state, that, you know, after maybe 6 months to a year. And so that's Ardith Avenue, another angle. This is not in order because those are smaller plants, those are a little younger. All right, and there's the homeowner, Chris. So Chris has had a challenge like maintaining the yard. It's hard for her to do it herself, and her gardener has just been totally flaky and has no interest in, you know, hand pulling a few weeds that pop up. He just wants to mow and go, and so it's been a challenge. So we've gone back a couple of times to do garden cleanups for her. This is Tomoko's yard, pre-job. And this is just a lawn removal day. This is Smoko's grandson, you know, hard at work. He was a beast, you know, he was really helpful. You know, there's our celebratory, you know, end of the day job. And no more lawn. And this is where we're watering and weeding. This is the landscape fabric that we use to line the swale. We're having kind of a ritual rock tumbling day right there. Snacks are important. Tomoko had some frozen treats for us that day. Looks like otter pops and you know, some chips and stuff. We've got cardboard and mulch laying down, cardboard and mulch. And this is early stage, just after we plant, a bit of a celebratory picture. And this is middle, you know, maturity. And this is other grandchildren thriving in the little wet swale here. That's that one. This is our Chinera job, Chinera. Bigger yard. This one was a bigger yard than we'd worked on, and it had clay soil. And so it was a challenge to dig up the lawn. Cool, but they're thriving. We've got, you know, multiple green bins around. This was one of the record-breaking, you know, pieces of turf that they pulled up. And this is the homeowner's son, Charles, who was in my class and also volunteered with us. He got a really nice, you know, successful piece there. David over there is jealous. All right. Oh, but there's David with his own big turf piece there. So he had success there. Right. And this is midway through. We've done some of the swale, we've done some of the plants. And this is our very last plant. So we're feeling really good planting the last plant in this yard. And here's the homeowner with you know, semi-mature plants. Another angle of the same yard. Last winter, we had all the rains that were washing all kinds of driftwood to the beach, and so I found a few pieces of driftwood that he liked to have in his yard. And this is the group of this year that you saw at the beginning of the slides. That just some Ceanothus that we had in the native plant garden before the school district chopped that one down. All right. Cool. So I think we're just about done. Oh, so some of the things that we do with the money. The rebates that we get, we go whale watching and we heavily subsidize the cost. Last year it was a $45 trip that cost the students $15 because of the money we had made, doing lawn conversions. Just a big group that was able to go whale watching. We go stand-up paddling. We've only done this twice. The logistics are a little bit difficult, but it's a nice adventure for the students to get out, see some sea lions, and we do some hikes, and the ecology club will either buy lunch or buy snacks and chips and stuff to go with the lunch that the students bring. And we'll mostly keep it local. The hikes. We always start vegetable seedlings in the spring, and we offer those to students in the club and then to teachers and other students on campus. So, we just start, a huge amount of tomatoes, cucumbers, zucchini are usually the big three. We also do some muggulents, plant, succulents in mugs, and that's always a fun activity. And so we use some money to buy soil, and really all we have to do is buy soil for this because we take cuttings and we get donations of mugs. Let's see. The North High Ecology Club is, you can check out the garden. It's not in a great shape right now, but by spring it's going to be looking great. If you have any questions, you feel free to email me. All teachers in Torrance Unified School District are Estabrook.J@TUSD.org. So their first name, last name, first name, TUSD. So feel free to reach out if you have questions or suggestions or anything else.
Well, I want to say thank you, and looks like there's some questions in the comments.
Okay.
Maybe you want to read those.
Yeah, sure.
If you would read the question and then just tell us what the answer is.
Sure. All right, let's see. There's okay, Tomoko, Jerry. What does the long-term maintenance look like in terms of suppressing Bermuda regrowth? So we've had a few, jobs with Bermuda, and the most important thing is for the homeowner to walk the garden weekly, and it's not daunting. It's kind of enjoyable, and look for new sprouts of weeds or Bermuda grass. The Bermuda grass will peek out under the cardboard. And so usually what I do is I lift up the cardboard, try to get the Bermuda grass as deep back as I can, and just yank it up. Usually Bermuda grass has enough energy stored in its roots to sprout about 3 times. And if you can get it before it has too much green photosynthesizing, surface area, then 3 times is going to be what you need. In my yard, there are 2 places where I have Bermuda grass that still tries to come up. It's one is under the white sage, and the other one is over by our bees bliss sage. And so because I know where they come up, I look for those, once every couple weeks, and I grab it and I pull it up. So vigilance, I would say, for Bermuda grass. It's not crazy work, but you have to look at it, once every week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I see Maya mentioned that, she wrote about her experience. I will just throw this out that, the last 2 and perhaps 3 Ecology Club presidents have got into UCLA, which is pretty competitive. And we're hoping for David this year's president. It's his number 1 choice. Let's see. I like yerba buena, strawberries. Okay, strawberries. Yes. I have a neighbor that grows some native strawberries. Purchased the mulch at Home Depot. BD White's a suggestion. Okay. The rocks, I get most of the rocks from Sepulveda Building Supply in Gardena. They have, a good variety. I like to use kind of a lighter color rock with a darker color rock in the middle. So Palos Verdes Land Conservancy, Jim, like I am familiar with it. I don't know if do they have a steady supply of plants, or is it just like a once a year plant sale? That's always the challenge is, I need plants when we're doing our job.
Yeah, certainly. I think the short answer is it depends.
Okay. Yeah. And I think that I think that's why I've gone with Theodore Payne, because I don't want to wait for, a sale, that kind of thing. If the timing works out, then I do get local plants from different sales. Yeah.
Yeah.
You from Palos Verdes Land Conservancy, you can pre-order.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'll make note of that. And Julian, the waiver, yeah, we do have the students do a waiver, the district field trip waiver. And we also get it, approved through the school board. So we do that. Okay, great. Dee, thanks for the support. Yeah, so the San Pedro, I've gotten that mulch for me on my own. When my father-in-law had a truck, we would go down and shovel mulch into the truck for sure. But again, I don't have a truck right now. Let's see. And the very fine mulch, I've had mixed luck with that because I feel like it's a splinter magnet. That's just my experience with that. I like that, Tony, the homeowners insurance. Okay. Is the garden club an inquiry? So the garden club is a nonprofit through the school ASB. So I don't have our own, 503c nonprofit, but we do have a tax ID number, through the school. So it's a club nonprofit through the school. Silage. So I think we're okay with the maintenance crew now. They stay away. I didn't know that they would, come and, it was summer and the cenotes was really tall and, they cut it away and stuff. So the maintenance crews are, not a problem anymore. Now it's just a matter of us keeping on top of things. Cool. Great. I think that's okay. So, Land Conservancy monthly plant sales at 2 nature centers. Okay, thank you, Cindy. Monthly. Cool. All right.
Well, thank you so much, Jay. This was really engaging. We had about 35 attendees at our peak, and that's a good number. So did you disappear? You disappeared from my view here. We might have lost Jay, but folks, I think that brings us to the end of our meeting, and we'll have a recording on YouTube shortly. So look for us there. And until next week or until next month, think about volunteering for the board of the South Coast CNPS, and contact us at the link I dropped into the email, or nominate yourself at the next meeting.
I'm back.
I didn't mean to.
Yeah, I I didn't even know. I guess my wife said I should have known, but my computer died, and so I'm on my phone. I had a full battery. I didn't expect that. So.
Whoops. Somehow you got muted.
Okay. Is that better? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't want to leave without saying goodbye and thank you. I appreciate your time and your suggestions and ideas, how we can make it better.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Jay. We really appreciated it.
Okay. Thanks, Brett.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And to everyone else, thank you and good night.